Let me bring in very quickly my colleague Uma Sudhir, who is joining us at this moment for more on this. Uma, equations have changed, and how dramatically have they? Prime Minister Narendra Modi taking oath for the third time, but also importantly, with the help of Chandrababu Naidu and Nitish Kumar, his role in the days to come and the kind of ministries he gets, the kind of help that he possibly can, the financial help that he possibly can extract from the centre is going to be very, very closely watched.
Yes, indeed. Chandrababu Naidu has experience of being in or doing coalition politics, and he certainly needs the centre at this stage almost as much as the centre needs him because of the number of MPs that he has managed to win. But yes, two ministries are coming their way. One is a cabinet minister with Ram Mohan Naidu, of course, and the other one is Pemasani Chandrasekhar, who has been now taken oath as the Minister of State. He, of course, is a debut MP. He has never had an experience of being an MP or a minister in the state, or an MLA even, but he comes in and wins the election and becomes a minister. Ram Mohan Naidu, of course, three-time MP, but the bigger picture, I must say, is 13 ministers from the south in the union government is perhaps a huge representation in the NDA government now. Of course, Karnataka taking the maximum numbers, 5, that of course includes H.D. Kumaraswamy. So a state that has delivered 19 MPs to the NDA gets 5 of them. And Andhra Pradesh again with 21 MPs that it has delivered. That only includes about 3 from the BJP, but 2 of them from the TDP, and 1 BJP MP from Narsapuram has also been. Now, Srinivas Verma has also been inducted as a Minister of State. Telangana, of course, has doubled its numbers, gone to 8, and therefore it gets 2 ministers. Kishan Reddy continues as a minister in the union government, and Bandi Sanjay gets a chance, and that's also leading to a change of leadership in the state BJP. Itala Rajendra is going to be announced as a state BJP leader tomorrow, and Tamil Nadu not winning any MP, and yet it is forward planning that the BJP is doing in terms of by inducting once again L. Murugan into the union government. All that speculation about Annamalai becoming a union minister as of now not happening. What that does indicate is that they want to continue with Annamalai as the state BJP chief, and there is unlikely to be any kind of an alliance that you see with the AIADMK. Of course, Annamalai has been staunchly against an alliance with the AIADMK, even though he has been criticized by his party leaders in Tamil Nadu for not having that alliance and leading to this kind of a result in Tamil Nadu. Kerala again, for the first time, historic that the BJP opened its account there with a parliament seat, and Suresh Gopi being rewarded. Of course, he has been Rajya Sabha MP in the past as well, but he is again become a Minister of State. The Thrissur MP has become Minister of State, and George Kurian, again, somebody who has been a state vice president and someone who has also been in the minority commission, he gets inducted also into the union cabinet. So that's, whether it is Murugan or it is George Kurian, they getting inducted is all forward planning in many senses for the BJP. But yes, the interesting state to watch is Andhra Pradesh. Their TDP leaders repeatedly, all of them have been telling me that they have not made any demands on the union government at all. But the big ask that they will be having certainly is the financial resources and the help to build that capital, to build Polavaram, and to fulfill at least a few of those huge number of promises that Chandrababu Naidu has made to the people of Andhra Pradesh. And with the kind of mandate that Andhra Pradesh has delivered to the TDP and to the NDA, they will certainly be hoping for big help from there. Janasena not being given anything certainly led to disappointment, but presumably they are hoping that Pawan Kalyan will become Deputy Chief Minister. On the 12th we have the swearing-in ceremony for Chandrababu Naidu.
Very quickly before I let you go, Uma, all those talks about, TDP trying to, in fact, put their weight behind the speaker's position, that seems, at least at this moment, that all that has been settled. Chandrababu Naidu, we heard earlier Nara Lokesh also saying that it is an unconditional support. The only condition possibly would be financial assistance, not as much as the speaker position is concerned.
Absolutely. From the 4th, when the results came in and I asked them this, they said we would like the speaker's post for sure, but this is an unconditional support and we are not asking for it. Having a speaker's post would help us leverage work in many other ministries, but no, we are not imposing any conditions, and I think they're going to be happy with this as long as they get that financial package, which is going to be very critical for Chandrababu Naidu to deliver and also leave that legacy. Remember, Chandrababu Naidu was known as that IT man, that CEO of the erstwhile Andhra Pradesh, but now he needs to deliver on Amravati and on Polavaram, and this is really a godsend for him that the people have given him this number of MPs, and the BJP falling short of the numbers at the center, he will hope will turn to Andhra Pradesh's advantage.